Well, people all around the world, it turns out, are becoming more and more unhappy.
A new Gallup poll finds people are feeling more angry, sad, and stressed than ever before. And this trend started long before the COVID-19 pandemic. Back in 2006, just 1.6% of respondents rated their lives at a 0 out of 10 on a happiness scale. But in 2021, that number jumped to 7.6%.
Yeah, that's a big increase. Now, at the same time, so let's talk about what's driving this global rise of unhappiness and how this relates to our jobs. We're joined by Michal Strahilevitz, a marketing professor at St. Mary's College and director of the Elfenwork Center for Responsible Business. Michal, thank you so much for joining us once again this afternoon. This poll finds unhappiness has been steadily rising for now a decade. How much of this has to do with how satisfied people are in their jobs?
So that is one of the top five, but the actual biggest factor is loneliness. We have an epidemic of loneliness globally and in this country. It's definitely worse with some groups than with others, but loneliness is the number one factor. Not being happy at work is another factor, and it's one of the top five. Financial distress is another one. There's quite a few of them, but loneliness is the biggest. And that's where we've seen a real rise that's affected so many people. And as you pointed out, while the pandemic made it worse, it started way before the pandemic. By the way, I teach a course on the science of happiness and well-being. So this is a topic I'm immersed in all the time, along with my students.
That's an important course, especially right now.
Yes, it is. It helps to learn about it.
I'm sure. You talk about the factors that have caused this trend in causing more people to feel unhappy. I want to put a graphic up here on the screen because the Gallup pollsters here, they looked at the 20% of people who reported having a great life, and all of them said they were fulfilled by work, had little financial stress, good physical health, and they had support from friends and family.
Okay, but at the same time, Professor, we want to look at the 20% of people who rate their lives the worst, have very little of any of those same things. They don't have a quality job. Their income is not enough to get by. They live in broken communities. They are hungry or malnourished, and they don't have anyone in their life that they can count on for help.
All right, so the question is, it seems like we have a growing divide here between the happy and the unhappy. How do we turn this around?
Yeah, so I will tell you, it's worse than that because the percentage of people who said 0 on a 0 to 10 scale has gone way up, where the percentage of people who said 10, that hasn't changed that much. I did say loneliness. Social support is a big one, and sort of people realizing how important that is. Another one, of course, that you mentioned is physical health, and it's real important. A lot of people think there's emotional health and there's physical health, but if you're unhappy, it affects your physical health. It affects your digestion. You can have headaches. You can experience fatigue. And similarly, of course, we all know when we don't feel physically well, it makes us sad. And so anything you can do to improve your health, anything we can do to give people more support in their communities and more opportunities to interact socially as an educator.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt there, and I apologize. We appreciate this conversation, but we are going to have to get to that breaking news that we've been following for the last few hours in Oakland. Yes, thank you so much.